So, welcome back to the A to Z challenge. We are all the way up to R, and R is for reviews, or more importantly, never respond to reviewers. Not ever. This is some of the best writing advice because it actually applies across a few things. First up, if you're receiving critique, you should not interrupt. If somebody is giving you critique on your work, giving you feedback, you're not allowed to defend your work. You are not allowed to be like, but I meant it like this. No, no. You have to sit there and take it. That's one of the problems, is because if you try to defend your work to a reviewer, they're going to eat you alive. I remember quite clearly last year, I think it was June, somebody responded to a reviewer rather badly on a Goodreads page. The reviewer had posted a review. It was honest. It wasn't even that terrible. It was a 3 out of 5 stars, and they were basically saying that the book was boring. They didn't find it that entertaining. And the writer, the author, came on and asked the reviewer to change the star number on it. And then things got bad. What happened was the reviewer went sort of, no, I'm not backing down. And the writer said, well, you're just destroying people's lives. And the reviewer said, no, I'm not destroying people's lives. And she stuck by her guns. And the writer went, as can happen, a little bit overboard. Passions were high for sure. But what was really happening is during that time, nothing is as interesting as an on-air debate that gets out of hand. And so people who saw what was going on posted it to their friends in social media. So you got to sort of watch this, drama unfold in real time, if you could read that fast. And, hate mail basically came pouring in. And, people on both sides of the equation, but basically, the thing that was really apparent as we were watching it was this writer who responded in a not particularly graceful way was destroying their career. Now, career destroying. An interesting thing. It turns out that with writing, you can write under a different pen name in the future. So, really what we were watching was the death of that pen name. So that pen name, bye-bye. That one's a goner. She'll have to come up with a different name to write under. Um, and so you don't want to get into that. You don't want to be that person who goes viral for the wrong reasons. And on a smaller scale, don't respond to reviewers who are, really terrible. I know it's also really hard not to respond to reviewers who, really enjoyed and really connected with your book, but, try not to respond to that aspect of it. You can show support for reviewers in other ways. Reviewers ultimately would like to have their works read as well. They want their reviews to be read by people. So if there's a review that you liked, you can state why you liked the review about your book. You can be like, I love it when somebody tells the story and captures the feeling without giving away the plot. Great way to talk about a review. And then you can plaster it up all over the place. Be like, I loved this review. It was a great review. I loved it. And it's from my book, which you could go and buy. No, don't say that part. But, it's sort of implied. So, put it out there. Be like, this is a great review because it really captures what I was trying to go for in my book. So this is, in my opinion, a good representation of my novel and what you may or may not like in the novel. This person liked it for these reasons. And if you're a person who likes those things, this book might be good for you. If, however, you want, something else, maybe something more nuanced and subtle and filled with, beautiful descriptions that would make a person cry, then my action book probably isn't for you. So be really careful how you talk about and to and interact with reviewers. And this is kind of a hard line because, how do you separate a reviewer from a fan? And you want to interact with fans whenever possible. You want to build a space where they can connect with each other and with the things about your writing or your medium, if you're not a writer, that, they really enjoy. They want to be able to share that. They want to be, you know, friends with other fans. They don't just want to be all alone. So how do you do that? And I don't really know. That's not a part that I'm very good at. Obviously, I write books and I'm learning about that part. So it's a careful thing that you have to do. It's a bit of a dance not to engage um, in a negative way with reviewers. Um, Feel free always to thank reviewers for reviewing your book. Thank you so much for giving an honest opinion of my book. Is always okay to say. Try really hard not to make it sound snarky if you're gonna say it. Don't be like, an honest opinion is always appreciated. Yeah, that's not gonna go off well. It's my wicked witch face. Rah! And yeah, no, people can tell, so be honest, but try to be polite and gracious and don't be a jerk. And if you feel yourself going in the direction of, oh, we're getting off key, stop there. Do not engage trolls, reviewers who are being very. Some people just like to watch the world burn and want to see you have a bad reaction, and they will post to get it. Do not give them the satisfaction. Pull back. Do not respond. Thank them. Be gracious. Move on. Next.